YouTube, how are we doing? Welcome back. Thank you for clicking on another video. Today I'm going to be giving my sort of thoughts on the brand new Shi No Numa Reborn map. Probably video number 1 million right now on YouTube and stuff like that with the release of this map a few days ago. I've seen a lot of big YouTubers come back to the game to play this map. I just want to give my general opinions of the map and overall where it goes from here. I think aesthetically the map does look really good, and the gameplay you're watching is legit my very first attempt playing this map on Vanguard and stuff. So I haven't played Shi No Numa since Black Ops 3, I believe it was. So yeah, this was, I'd played Shi No Numa in the past. I knew exactly what to expect, but I tell you what, like aesthetically, yes, this map is very good. It sticks to the core of what the original map was, and what I do love as well, the added dig site is a very cool addition to it. I like the fact that you basically got jugs straight off the bat out the door. Obviously, with the whole 5 perks rather than 4, they had to find a way to incorporate that 5th perk into it so that that one would be stationary. Again, with that, I do love that the perks still are random, which I think still keeps to what was great about Shi No Numa. It was just always constantly changing every game. And I think overall, yeah, I mean, it does look really good. Now, I do apologise for sort of some of the gameplay. So when I haven't played zombies in so long, I didn't realise that all of my settings were stupidly low. So graphically, as you're looking at it, and I'm looking back on it now, it looks terrible. In future clips that I will have of Shi No Numa, because I do plan on playing this probably a lot more actually, because it is a lot of fun. The graphics are dramatically improved, and you do actually see that when it comes to the Easter egg. I do get a little bit into it and stuff like that, just to see what it was like first time round. But we'll come to that in a little bit. But in terms of just like the overall how the map plays very well. I do think it is the hardest version of Shi No Numa that we've ever had, and that doesn't obviously World at War being the easiest. Black Ops 1 was fairly easy. Black Ops 3 was fairly easy as well, was obviously with all the gums. This has to be the hardest version of the map, mainly because of the increase in bosses, the zombie strength, the fact they hit you a lot quicker. Definitely, this is the hardest, and I have felt that in while playing it. The very first, the reason I went to play it as soon as I did is a buddy of mine said his very first time playing, he got to round 17, and I thought, we're some seasoned zombie vets and stuff like that, we've been playing for a long time. Surely round 17 isn't that difficult to achieve. And when I started playing it, as I got on further on in the rounds, I realised, yeah, it's actually going to be quite difficult to get that. I think what they've done obviously with it, obviously the boom shreebers we know for a fact are going to be on every single map. That's absolutely fine. I wasn't expecting the 3-headed woman, the Valetta, whatever her name is. I really wasn't expecting her, and she does bring like her own level of just difficultness. If you're on console, it is a lot easier, because obviously if you get one of the sacrificial hearts, which is Deadshot, it makes killing her a lot easier. I don't have that being on PC, so my aim is all over the place, especially when I haven't played zombies in so long, even though I play multiplayer pretty much every single week. I think, obviously, the Sturmkriegers as well, they don't have too much of an issue. I do like as well that they do drop certain items as well. So, for instance, like a couple of days ago, me and my buddies were playing, and one of them dropped a ray gun for me. So, I like that is still a thing with them. So, I don't think they really need to do anything more to the map. I think it is very good. I think the overabundance of water is probably a bit much, but then again, that's exactly what Shi No Numa was. In certain parts of the map, it's very hard. Unless you're in the dig site, it's very difficult to actually train the zombies up and to have like a legitimate strategy. And I feel as well, one thing you probably can do is actually just, if you have a group of 4, you could just sit in one building and just play like that. Have 2 people watching the front doors and a couple of people watching the different windows. You can easily survive until it gets too much. So Yeah, I think definitely it is the hardest version of Shi No Numa. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the worst because I think it's probably the best Shi No Numa that we have had. And I see a lot of videos recently regarding Shi No Numa Reborn, with people giving it the sort of clickbaity sort of title, saying like where has it gone wrong, what can it do, and stuff like that. And then you watch it, and they actually all give a very positive reaction to this map. The round-based system, it needed to come back. Whether that's going to come back with a new map when they go to Egypt, whatever that's going to be called, I pray they do, but I don't think they will. But this is where Treyarch needs to take zombies. They've tried changing it up in the past. When you think of, with Black Ops 3, you had the Gobblegummers. Black Ops 4, they decided to get rid of all the perks and then redo it all. Cold War, they changed the currency and then introduced Outbreak as a round-based or as a challenge-based map. And then they decided to go in with this because it's not under the Treyarch title of Call of Duty, because it's under something else. They thought, we'll try and keep it with that. And, I think they'll come out and say that it definitely hasn't worked. The fact that the community has been so open and so vocal, the fact that it needed a round-based zombies map. To think as well, we're in the end of June, and we have only had Duranfang, Televictor, or whatever it's called, and then this. That is extremely, extremely poor. Now, yes, we know for a fact that not all of the zombies guys that are making, or that have made zombies in the past, are on this game. They are focusing on the next iteration of the Treyarch Zombies game, or the free-to-play, or whatever, the next zombie entitlement. They are currently building on that. So there's probably about maybe a third of the team working on this. But even then, like, Sledgehammer have got people that, they made the World War II zombies, which to an extent was actually pretty good if you did play it. So, there's two teams that got working on it. Why it's been so poor and why there's been very much a lack of development in it has been very poor. We were told that Shi No Numa was going to come out during the middle of Season 3, and it didn't. It came out in the beginning of Season 4. So that's already put people off of it as well. What they need to do now is they need to start pumping out content, because by the time Modern Warfare 2 comes around, this game will be completely forgotten about. Zombies as a whole, until this Treyarch Zombies, whatever this video game is going to be, comes out, this zombies will be not touched for years. Okay, that's what I mean. You see the bit in the video there where the actual gun doesn't show up. Yeah, that shows just how bad my graphic settings actually were. But that's the problem that they've got now, is they need to pump out content right away to keep people interested, just to get people to tie it over until Modern Warfare 2 comes out. Because when that game comes out, no one's going to want to touch the older Call of Duty. No one's going to want to go back onto Cold War. No one's going to want to turn back Vanguard on. They're only going to want to play that. So that's what they need to do going forward at this point. That's what I'm thinking. The thing is, like, they've done such a good job with this map. They have appeased to the fans. They've said, what, we've listened to you. We understand your frustrations. This is what you wanted, and we're going to give it to you, and they have. Fair play, but now they need to build on it. If they don't, the community is just going to turn off all over again. Where they go on that, I don't want another remake or the reboot of a map. I would like to see something different, but it needs to keep this sort of idea up. It needs to be round based. You can have built-in challenges to it to, like, increase points or the currency and stuff like that, add different achievements, but keep it as a round-based thing. So maybe like every 10 rounds, one of these challenges appears. You do the challenge, you complete it, you come back, you get a bunch of money, or you get something for it, and then you just continue and stuff. If they find a way to combine the two, I think people will be okay with that. Now, in terms of the Easter eggs, now this map is completely littered with them. So as far as I'm aware, there is 3 known ones at the moment. You've got the Max Ammo Samantha doll, which I think is in storage. I could be wrong on that. I haven't actually done this one. I only saw about this today. So basically, there are 3 Samantha dolls in one of the huts. If you shoot all 3 of them, they will rise up out the floor and they'll give you a max ammo completely for free, which is a old Easter egg that I think originated in Shi No Numa and has come back in a couple of other different variations of maps. So that's one of them. The second is the Wunderwaffe. Now, while I have not used the Wunderwaffe yet, I've had a couple of friends use it in playthroughs. They really enjoy it. The reload is extremely slow, no matter what speed tier you have. So that's a bit depressing, but the fact that you need it for the main Easter egg is pretty cool. But the problem that I have with it is if you want to try and get... I thought, oh yeah, do you know what? I'm just going to get the Wunderwaffe really, really quickly and then start the Easter egg process. But the fact that you cannot complete the Wunderwaffe process until at least round 15 is pretty poor. So your best chance is RNG from the box, which, you know, does take out some of the sort of funness of building the Wunderwaffe, because it is a fairly simple process. You know, barrel goes into the main swamp area, into the charger, then a fuse comes out, you load it up into the trap. Like, how people found that out as well is just beyond me. Like, did they... I mean, I didn't watch any of like Noah or Waffle or Pizza's streams to see how they went about it, but the fact that you just come just to a random trap, I mean, I know it's not random, the table's right there, but just to hit that trap and then just for it to randomly explode and you put a fuse in, it's a bit weird. So yeah, I mean, like, I feel that if they're gonna do that, like, if you're gonna put I know you don't want to put it too early, I get that, but when you think of something like Cold War, when you went for like the Carver on Mao the Toten, you had to wait until a minimum of round 10 so that you would have the Panzer spawn in, take the battery, put that in Klaus, and then you could go get the black light to then get all the codes and stuff like that. So that's fine. Round 10 is fine. Round 15 is a bit excessive considering just how mental this map gets when you get to those higher levels. So I feel if they... I don't think they're going to change it, but I would have preferred if they dropped it to around about round 10, dropped the three-headed woman into it, then we can do it. That would have been absolutely fine. I think round 15 is just a bit too much, because I can't imagine there's going to be too many high-level round attempts on this map. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion to it. And going to the main Easter egg part, so I figured out sort of quite quickly certain parts of where things like, you know, the cipher wheel parts, I kind of didn't really know what to do with them, but I see something glowing, I'm going to pick it up. You know, it's just the way it is. But you can see constantly, as like I say, proper first round attempt, I'm literally clicking everything just to see, just to hear anything, if there's any clues or anything like that. Absolutely everything I was trying to do. So with the actual Easter egg itself, so I think it's not a bad Easter egg. You know, it's not a bad Easter egg. The cutscene that I have seen is pretty poor as well, because, you know, like, you face the boss, you do the boss battle, all fun and games, and then it is pretty much a kind of a lackluster cutscene. Where it all ties into the next map, I have no idea and stuff like that. Do I intend to complete this Easter egg? Possibly. The first time me and my friends tried to actually do it, we didn't realise that obviously once we eventually found the code for it, and don't even get me started on trying to find the bloody code, once we'd gotten through to that and we somehow figured out how to light all the pillars up as well, because we went into it completely blind. We didn't watch any tutorials, because literally it was the day after the map came out, so or it might even been the night of that it came out, so there was no tutorials, no nothing, no one knew how to do anything, so we just randomly decided to like click on all of them at the same time. There's only 3 of us rather than 4, and they all lit up. What we didn't know is obviously when you had all the blue zombies and stuff like that, we didn't realise you have to kill them on the island with the Wunderwaffe. Now I think at the time my friend did have the Wunderwaffe he got from the box, so we could have done it, but you know, by that time I think it was like around about round 20 we attempted this, so we thought it's just going to be too chaotic. And from what I've seen from a lot of people, and after watching the Easter egg myself, is if you are going to do this Easter egg, you have to do it as early as possible. So I think the earliest you can pretty much do it that I've seen is around about round 20, and it's not as chaotic. So if you're going to do it, yeah, do it on round about round 20, you'll be absolutely fine. But the code, I tell you what, like, is one of the most difficult things to try and find, because the way I see it as well, we found 2. Now, I didn't know what the third one was until watching a tutorial myself, but you can basically figure it out from just getting 2 of the Japanese symbols. And that is the one in the dig site and the one in I think I can't remember what office it is. It's where you pick up the fuse from. You can just basically do it from those tables. I didn't realize the third one was actually in the spawn hut. As well, we didn't realize that because we weren't really listening. None of us really play with like the sound on from like the main characters and stuff like that. So we didn't realize until we played it through again that you have to use some form of heat item to reveal the rest of the paper, which is it's an incredibly smart way of doing things. All it needs is a thermite or a Molotov. But what it does as well is like the code does kind of change from game to game as well, because I put in an existing code that I had from one of our games into another game and it didn't work at all, so that was quite annoying. But again, it keeps to the flow of how Shi No Numa actually is, and that I haven't got a problem with. I hoped this fountain was a new perk. It's not. It's literally just a part of the Easter egg to collect the mirror and the spheres. I would have hoped to see another one. With 3 maps gone, we have had no new perks, nothing from it. It is quite poor from it, and that's where they need to build on it. This as well, I had no idea what I was doing and just randomly figured out. I generally think it's this attempt that I've randomly figured out how to open the root, like to get the rune spell off. Like I didn't know I had to shoot a boom stream around it. I literally just figured out there. So that one of those little things that I take as a win-win right there. But I think overall, if I'm going to rate this map, it's clearly the best map in Vanguard, and that's not saying much when the other 2 maps are legit the worst maps in Zombies history. Simple as that. So it's not got a lot to go up against. But what Treyarch need to do is they need to build on this. I mean, like, people don't want to see another remake map potentially, because they've sort of done everything now. I think the only one that really hasn't been rebooted enough is probably Verruct. Because you think with Nukt has had so many different iterations, and it also came back in Cold War as well. Doris has had so many different iterations as well. Verruct is one of the only ones that hasn't really had a lot into it. So whether they do something like that, or even hell, another Kino one, that's only had 2, I think. The original and the Black Ops 3 one. I know it technically appeared in Revelations as well, so technically it's 3 maps. But if you're going to do something like that, fine, I haven't got a problem. But there has to be more content coming out with this to keep Zombies fresh. That's all I ask. Like I say, overall, I say the map is good. I would probably give it about a 6.5, 7 out of 10. I would possibly say, just because, like I say, it is a good map. I think the difficulty factor probably could be toned down a little bit. But overall, I think it is a clean map. I think it has its own level of difficulty in and of itself. And obviously, it is quite restricted with how Vanguard is in terms of the mechanics it has got. But overall, if Treyarch can build on this, then I think for the next few months, Zombies will be fine. But who knows where we're going to be for that. So I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want to tell me in the comments what you think of this new map, do you like it, do you hate it, why do you like it, why do you hate it, leave it down below as well. Like the video and subscribe as well. I will be doing some more videos based on Vanguard, probably in the next couple of days and stuff like that, as well as doing some little Master Duel videos as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.